Now, in our Purchase or Pass segment this week, we check out another potential investment that's right in the heart of the action and see whether it meets our strict criteria. It's a two-bedroom unit in a small block of 4 within metres of all the local entertainment, shopping and leisure facilities. It's only 7.6 kilometres to the centre of the CBD for work and transport, and that's all on your doorstep. It has plenty of attractive Art Deco features and has only got one common wall. It features a private entry and spacious semi-like layout. Now, Stuart, I guess the main question to start with is that I guess it ticks the right boxes for location and things like that. So this week I actually wanted to drill out on some of the features in the advert to see what they really mean, especially for some of the people overseas. So quite often around Sydney we're always talking about northeast facing. What does that really mean?
Northeast facing means the sun coming up in the morning. Means some activity, some action in the morning. It means some nice energies in the morning. It means the property is always going to be desirable by future purchasers.
Yeah, and the interesting reason I brought this up was I went up to Queensland probably 10 years ago and went to see a property, and I said to the agent, what way does it face? And he looked at me strangely saying, well, why would you care? And I said, well, don't you want the sun? He said, no, we want to get away from the sun, we want all the shade.
Yeah,
so it does change state to state, doesn't it?
It definitely does. I mean, Sydney's, a nice sun aspect is actually quite, good to have, but I can imagine in some of those warmer states, sun can be quite deterring.
And also one of the comments on there was Art Deco block of only 4. What kind of difference does that make to people?
Art Deco is, usually needs a bit of work, to be honest, and when it needs a bit of work, it's people that have got to have time to be able to put the work into it and also look at options as far as renovating it. Some people are busy and can't afford to have the time to put that time into making sure they do a good job. Art Deco can be, restrictive, but also not only that, usually the body corporate or anything like that will be just restrictive in an Art Deco property.
And certainly the positive for some people is obviously the style of it, because everything gets a bit bland these days, so some period features can be good.
Yeah.
And I guess only having 4 in the block, at least you're not competing with 12 other people. If you need some stuff done, at least there's only 3 other owners. Yeah,
but the negative of that is you're only raising money from 4 people as well to pay for it. So, there are negatives and there are positives, but the high ceilings are definitely a good positive stretch of the characteristic of those kind of properties. But I always when I look at blocks of property, I look at how many units are there and who's going to raise the money to pay for these kind of things.
Yeah. Now, another thing it mentions in there is one common wall. Obviously, that's hopefully going to be quieter, especially in some of the party suburbs and stuff like that. But also it says private entry and spacious semi-light layout. That's obviously got to be good for some people that can't afford to buy a house in these suburbs, and so maybe you're still in a unit, but at least if it feels like a semi.
Yeah, especially for young families that are quite often not rolling in cash, they can get into an apartment like this and feel like they're living in a house, and they can grow their family. Yeah.
Now, the one thing that it doesn't say in the advert, which I'm not surprised, is that the road is 10 metres from the bedrooms. You're at ground level, you're in a really busy heart of the pubs and the rest of it. The amount of noise you're going to get from that's got to be a nightmare, isn't it?
Absolutely. Noise is a big deterrent for me. I don't live with noisy roads that often, and I can't see myself going for that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's got to be pretty tough. So, purchase or pass for you?
Mine's a pass.
Right, OK. Now, noise is a major problem in the inner cities, and so whilst tenants do want to be close to the action, some do actually want to sleep at night, those are with jobs at least. Anyway, even though the property does tick all the other boxes, this is one negative that I can't get over, especially at $900,000 for a 2-bedroom unit. So on this one, I'm going to pass as well.